Hello and welcome back to part 3 of Sonic 4. And here we have Lost Labyrinth. Clearly inspired by the Labyrinth Zone of Sonic 1. Now, they probably chose to recreate this zone because it's, well, one of the zones people remember from this game. But probably for the wrong reasons. I know saying that, Sonic 1, the original, obviously not this HD remake I'm playing right now, but Sonic 1, the original, was always a favourite of mine, one of my first games ever. And really, I think it's overhated. Overhated? Underrated? Pick whichever one you want. But what I mean is, I think people don't give it enough credit. I mean, yeah, Sonic 1 doesn't have the spin dash. But what are you going to do? And I think one of the zones which is very exaggerated is Labyrinth Zone. It's often called one of the worst levels in Sonic history, which, please. And yeah, I sort of understand why. It was originally a very slow level, and there's water, which nobody likes in any game at all, I don't think. Except Super Mario Sunshine. You know, that plumber made water fun. I'm not sure how he did that. You got to give that little Italian tyke some credit now and again. But anyway, back to Sonic, and yeah, I know Labyrinth Zone, the original, was slow and very deadly, but it's platformy. And really, in the greater scheme of things, it's a zone which only lasts a couple of minutes, really. Oh, you robots, you. Sadly, I don't have the homing attack, so I can't really cheap these guys. I come to think of it, Labyrinth Zone is quite blocky. But yeah, at least they did a good job recreating the graphics here. I know when a lot of people saw the footage for this zone, they thought, it looks quite Sonic Rushy, doesn't it? But yep, that's not what we got at all. Because speaking of Sonic Rush, that's who developed this game, Dimps, who also developed the Advance series, Sonic Rush Adventure, and essentially a lot of the handheld versions of the Sonic series. So they usually have a good track record. I particularly like Sonic Advance, because I think that was a really good representation, or a good continuation of the classic series. But then again, you know, look what they've done here. This is definitely a classic series. You know, Sonic Advance, it's nowhere near as nostalgic as this game. Now, something I do notice when playing through these levels is they put water in every zone. And they should just put it in one zone and then just have gimmicks. In fact, they should just have a gimmick every single level. Just, yeah, like that. But then again, I think if they were trying to push a gimmick on us in every level, I might accuse them of trying to cover up something. You know, like the physics or the jumping. You know, I would assume that they were trying to cover up something. But no, they've got nothing to cover up here. They've stayed really loyal to this gameplay. Regarding Sonic's design here, he's always been a fairly spiky-haired chap. Supposedly he started off as Mighty the Armadillo, but they made a blue spiky hedgehog because he had attitude. And there's definitely something of Mickey Mouse about him, with the sort of gloves and shoes. Although I was saying Mickey Mouse, it's really more like the Looney Tunes. And, you know, really for a character that was designed in the 90s, he's actually aged pretty well. I think he looks pretty timeless, just in general. You know, it could have been so much worse. They could have gave him like a backwards baseball cap and sunglasses, or a Hawaiian shirt. I think if that was part of Sonic's design, he wouldn't have lasted this long. Yeah, his longevity is either down to his classic design or his fan base, which clings to their childhood like it's giving them oxygen. Clinging to it like a crocodile to its prey. I've really got to work on these metaphors, haven't I? This part here, the everlasting water slide. I just want to get off this thing. Now you see, again, the length of the labyrinth zone really isn't that bad. I mean, I get this done in about 8 minutes. You know, which is true, it's just like the original labyrinth zone. Oh, sorry. You see, they did such a good job of recreating this zone that I keep calling it labyrinth zone when it's lost labyrinth zone. But, you know, look, maybe they did a too good job of recreating this zone, because it's very watery, as you can see. But on the bright side, at least they didn't add a pointless gimmick where one level was completely in darkness. Because I don't know where that gimmick has come from, but having levels in darkness in a 2D platformer is not fun. I guess they really want to show off the lighting engine or whatever they have. But yeah, I'm glad that's a gimmick they didn't force in this game. Let me see, I think the new the new Super Mario Brothers games have did it. Donkey Kongers did it, and I think Lost World did it recently. But again, it is curious they decided to recreate this level. Because even though I don't really mind Labyrinth Zone myself, but yeah, that's not really loved amongst the fan base. They did this. I didn't think they would recreate this boss fight because it wasn't really a particular favourite of the fan base either, but now they have. See, this boss fight, well, it's really more of a chase, a gauntlet. You sort of have to jump up through various traps and spikes as the water level is rising. Of course, you have to make sure you don't get hit or you don't get drowned. And it's really a great, even though it frustrates me sometimes, and it's the one thing that stopped me playing the original Sonic 1 and getting through without dying at least once. You know, at least they did this platforming challenge. At least they put it in Sonic 4. You know, they didn't dumb it down and make it ridiculously easier. But yeah, I suppose they could have added an extra boss. You know, just one original boss in this game would have been nice. I don't know, maybe something with like crushing pillars near the end. That would have been good. But yeah, you can see here, you really have to be precise. And the key is not to rush, because rushing will just get you killed sooner. Just take your time and steadily avoid the death traps. Anyway, that was a Lost Labyrinth Zone. Please join me again in the next part.